Hello, and welcome back to Advanced Concepts. This is actually a second attempt at recording this part because my audio desynced in the previous recording, and given what it is exactly that I'm going to be doing in this part, I thought it was really necessary to redo this, but this should be a lot faster. This time through. Unfortunately, I'm only going to really have time for the re-recording for today, so this series, I guess, is going to be delayed by a couple of days now, but that's fine. Okay, so this room, what's going on here? Clear the pressure plate in order to get out. Now, the trick is that some of these cannot be cleared. Sorry, they cannot all be cleared because these annoying little gaps here, because this is a 9 by 9. Yep, so this would have been perfectly fine if not for those. Now, based on what we learned, where was it? Here? No, that comes later. Here? With the whole white and black dots thing and about how you have parity between the two. What we've done here, because this is a 9 by 9, if we start white here, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, like this, we have an 8 by 8 grid here. But that means we're going to have whites going along the diagonal. It means we've removed 2 white dots. So that means that we need to remove 2 black dots from the cuttable space. So if this is white, 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 white. Okay, this one's black. So black, let's look around for that. Nope, another white, black, and no. Okay, so it has to be those two. Those two can't be cleared. Everything else has to be. So now actually cutting this is going to be a little bit tricky. Let's just deal with this area first. Make sure we don't leave ourselves something that we have to cut in a way we don't want to. Oh, there we are. Right, so hopefully the reasoning behind how that had to make sense, why I left those two, hopefully that made some sort of sense. Now this room, I did do before, but actually, since I already knew this was coming and I didn't really visualize this that well in the previous recording, I'm going to take this opportunity to discuss what's going on here a little bit better. So if you remember here, we have this sort of pairing where we end up with, some dots that can't be cut depending on how we cut it. That's what this puzzle's all about. We have one mimic, we have to start it somewhere, we have to cut all of the tar, but where is the good spot to cut? So if I'm going to switch here, and it's going to be suddenly quiet, but hopefully that won't weird people out too much. Okay, so we got this. Let's just go with black. Oh, smoke brush, right? We don't need that. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're looking at how we're cutting this up. So in order to remove this here, we have to make a cut either into this edge or into this edge. So that's represented by having a line here. Now this, in order to deal with this dot, we have to follow it along as well. So we can kind of see where we're forced to make certain cuts. And we're just going to go through like this. So what you'll notice here is that we don't have a line here, 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 or here, which means we cannot start the mimic in this square. It won't have, because if we make any of those 4 cuts, because all of these cuts were forced by the way it's been set up, we won't be able to clear all of the tar. So we're just going to continue looking at all of these and marking them off as we get to a point where we know the cuts have to be made. These little outcroppings like this are really nice for this because you know for sure where you have to go, and then if it goes diagonally up, that's also pretty nice. Yeah, so like here, I don't know which way to go just yet, but because of this, I can do that. This. So that one has to go like that. All right, because this one we don't know. Oh, that has to go down. Okay, well there's a spot we can cut, and that is where I did it last time. And okay, this spot we actually get some choices. We could go like that, or we could go like that. Okay, so we got a little bit of choice as to how we deal with this section. But yes, if we notice, the only spot that we can do, the first cut has to be here. We don't have a choice about that. All right. Let's just make sure I didn't screw up my recording with any of the stuff that I did. I know it looks fine. Okay.
My name is Beethro.
Yeah. All right. Just making sure that I didn't do anything silly. So obviously doing this makes this uncuttable. So instead of following that diagram, I'm just gonna start making cuts that seem sensible, because a lot of these are going to be forced. Alright, I'm going to take this opportunity to center the mimic the same way as myself. That was the little square we could have done either way. Nope. That's... whoops, I just knocked us off. That's fine. Alright, there we go. And I guess we can just do that. All right. So that room wasn't too bad. Okay, here. Well, if I just try to cut this, yeah, we get a very nasty shape right away. So we have to double cut here, and it looks like a double cut on the other side. So one clone, one decoy, and one mimic. So, the trick here is going to be getting the double cut with the decoy. That's the hardest part. So the decoy will cut the turn you place it. So you can't. If I do this cut in advance and then place the. In fact, you know what? Let's actually just show it. Show what's going on here. If I make this cut first, and then do this, the decoy cuts immediately. But by doing that, I get 1 extra turn. So if I wait here, it's going to cut, but I can take advantage of that. We don't need to kill the decoy. Let's be merciful. Alright. The Mimic dies because I'm always a little bit paranoid about leaving the Mimic around. It tends to stab me in the back. Right, I think this was the other room that I took a screenshot of. Because, well, let's show off what's messy about this one. So, I need to kill these Tar Mothers, but I can't do it while... if they ever grow. Which means I have to cut all of this without letting these free. The problem is that this tar is not cuttable, so I have to use the Tar Mother eyes in order to find a nicely cuttable shape. Like I have to break a little 2x2 blob at the end with each of these. Now, the actual solution to this was quite clever, but I stumbled upon it by accident, so I'm going to see if I can... just figure out a better way of dealing with this. So let's go again to 200 times zoom. Okay, so again, I think this might work better as black and white dots. I don't know, I'm just guessing. So I'm going to try this solution first, and if this doesn't give me any information, then I'll try the other way. Okay, so what do we... okay, yeah. Put them all in. Okay, so what am I looking at here? For black, 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12. For white, 1, 2, 5, 8, 10, and 12, 13. Is that right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because they have to be off in order for this to not be just cuttable without the Tar Mother. I think I lied. I think this is going to actually be better to think about in terms of lines, because that's going to make a little bit more sense. So we're just going to leave this. And I guess I'm just doing trial and error at this point, but I'm going to see what happens here. So by making all of these cuts, I wonder, am I able to make that cut? Like what exactly does what I'm doing here actually entail? So this not being cut means that at this point I have a blob that's like this and this. Oh, and this. Okay, that's what it is. This one's still here too. So if I cut here, then we have a blob like this, which obviously we can make a cut here, and then we're left with a dot. Okay. So now that we've figured that out, I don't know if these dots were useful, but I'm gonna put them down again anyway, just to see if this reveals anything. Because I remember that these two were different, so I want to see if I can figure out why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 white. Right, okay. So this one we have 2 extra whites, which means that we have to cut... okay, that makes sense. So yeah, the dots did end up being useful. Here we had 1 extra white, so that's the one that I'm leaving. Here we have 2 extra whites, which means that those are the 2 that I have to leave. Which means that in order to cut this one, I can't make any cuts involving either of these whites. Okay, so I guess we'll start here. And we have to cut both of the blacks. So that leaves us 2 spots there. Okay, it seems so much easier once I did it in GIMP here. And actually did the theory instead of just playing around with the tar and hoping that it would work out. So I guess that's it. Anyway, that should be
Why?
here. I'm just going to do a quick room transition, make sure everything, yep, seems to be working fine. Okay. So there's the added complexity here. What am I doing? Okay, well I've already done a different pattern because I've decided to cut that white dot. I guess I could leave the other white dot, that would probably be fine. But let's leave this white dot. We're not cutting into this. So the added complexity here is that I need to keep out of the range of the eyes whenever we have that happening. Yeah. There we go. So that left the 1 white dot. I remember that this one, I had 3 cuts like that. Hopefully the rest of this is just going to work out. So this one we have to leave both of these white dots, which means that we have to go around like this. That's not going to work, is it? Because I'm going to have to... If I cut here... Oh. Yeah, no, that's what I did that, that's not right. Cut here, that's what I want. And there we go. Alright, no problem. It's much easier with hindsight. Okay, so what's going on in this room again? We have a mechanism here, so if the tar grows once, that's fine. If it grows twice, it becomes uncuttable. We do need to cut it, so we have to let it grow exactly once. It cannot grow more than once. Here, all the tar has to be cleared before we can get back out, which means that we have to clear this using a single tar growth. Now this is 4x6. This is not cuttable. So with a single tar growth, we have to clear all of this and then kill the tar mother before she grows a second time. Alright. Let's do that. That gives us a nice cuttable surface. And I'm going to run away. Because I don't want to run out of time. I don't want to run out of time because of the tar spawn. Alright, so let's clear that. And down here. Same kind of deal, except that we're invisible this time, which means that this will not grow. And we have to kill all of the tar in here, but not necessarily all of the tar babies because they'll come to us. So we don't have to cut all the tar. Right, that's the difference. We don't have to cut all the tar in here, but we also can't have it grow until we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until we're in this row. Oh, let's do the best that we can. So from here... Oh, okay, this is... yeah, we've already hit the problem. Because now it's grown once, and we can't. So to block this, we have to use a tar baby. I think it's going to be easiest to leave that blob. I did this last time. So we're going to do this. Oh dear. Okay, no, that's fine. Because you're blocking one corner. Again, get into the sight range of the mother, and that gets us the shape that we want. Oh, I did just do that, didn't I? And then we have to clear those in order to access this. Alright. Yeah, and that's everything. Okay, so that catches up to where I was at the end of the previous part. Obviously, the one about 20 minutes faster when I already knew the solutions. But I think I'm actually going to stop it there, and we'll continue with mud last time, so the tar section will be its own thing. Hopefully this will actually have synced up correctly this time with the audio. I think I fixed what the issue was there. But I will double check that, and then the mud part's a little bit delayed, a little bit sad about that, but I don't really have time to do another recording right now, so that'll just have to be in 2 days. So yeah, I will see you then.